Look, I wasn't even planning on reviewing this film. I just reviewed the first Jurassic Park because I knew Jurassic World Dominion was coming out. And so I took the opportunity to, spread my love for Steven Spielberg's classic. It's a really good film. I just wanted to, share my enthusiasm and passion for the first Jurassic Park film. I wasn't planning on reviewing Dominion. In fact, I was planning on reviewing Obi-Wan Kenobi this week. But there was a slight hitch in terms of I want to cosplay as Anakin Skywalker in the review, and I started to make the cosplay, but then there was a mishap with the sizing of the template I was using for the tunic, and so I had to scrap it and basically buy more fabric, and so I do plan on reviewing Obi-Wan very soon because I have things to say. It's just that I want to get, the cosplay ready. And so, that's the thing. I was getting everything ready. I shaved my face. I was getting ready to do the scar makeup and all that. And then, yeah, I saw Jurassic World Dominion and I hated this movie. It physically pained me to watch this film. This film is the epitome of everything that is wrong in current day Hollywood blockbuster filmmaking. This film is just awful from a narrative level. From a visual level, the cinematography is okay, but even then, the blending of the visual effects and the, real life photography is not that great. The script and the dialogue is genuinely atrocious. I mean, Colin Trevorrow co-wrote this film, and I mean, the thing that was interesting about Colin Trevorrow was that his story idea for Star Wars Episode 9, because he was originally tapped to direct Star Wars Episode 9, was quite interesting. It was meant to be a sequel to The Last Jedi in some ways, and it was supposed to carry some interesting story threads. But just, seeing what he did with Jurassic World Dominion, I'm very glad he didn't direct Episode 9, even though Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, is not great. Oh my god, if this was the quality of writing he was going to bring to the Duel of the Fates, because I think that's what his Star Wars film was supposed to be called, I'm kind of glad we didn't get it. There's a scene in particular where basically the clone girl from the second film is talking to Bryce Dallas Howard's Claire, and she's just like, the only two people I've seen around here are you both. And I was like, that's such a weird, awkward line of dialogue. Why did you phrase it like that? Why wasn't it like, the only two people I've seen around here are you and Owen? And look, the dialogue itself is just really cringy and corny and self-referential and just everything I really despise about current day Hollywood. There's a lot of cliches too. I mean, at the beginning, like, Claire is trying to save this baby Triceratops, and like her and her people helping her, they get into this van and like the van's like speeding off and the doors are open and she was all like, hang on, and they're all just like, to what? And it's like, really? Is this what writing has come to now? It's just so painful from a story perspective, from a writing perspective. It's just, everything about this film is just wrong. And look, this isn't me saying you can't have corny dialogue in your film. I mean, you certainly can. I mean, Top Gun Maverick, which I have seen 3 times now, and I actually do think it has overtaken The Northman to be my favorite film of the year, just because that film is just so heartfelt and enjoyable, and just, it's funny, because in my review for Top Gun Maverick, I was like, oh, it's not the best film of the year or anything. But the film has just been living in my head for several weeks, and just, I've seen it 3 times. I loved it. But Top Gun Maverick is filled with corny dialogue. But because it is very well directed, and you have actors like, Tom Cruise delivering these corny lines so charismatically, so endearingly, you can't help but be charmed by Top Gun Maverick. And when Jurassic World has actors like Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard doing a fine job, but you can tell they're doing this for a paycheck and not necessarily for the story and the characters that are being told here, you can tell that it is just very insincere. The film is not sincere and isn't trying to say anything, and so it just sticks out to you more. This very much feels like people in a corporate boardroom being like, oh, what do people want from a Jurassic Park film? Oh, they want dinosaurs, or they want a T-Rex, or they want action, or they want people riding motorcycles next to dinosaurs. And it's kind of like, no, just tell me like a good and interesting story. And that's the thing, the story to Jurassic World Dominion is so stupid, is so dumb, it doesn't make any sense, and basically undermines the sort of, I wouldn't say it's a thematically rich ending to Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, but it sort of squanders the potential that Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom set up. The next film is going to be a world full of dinosaurs, and how will people react to that? What is the, global impact that's going to have? What is this going to do to humanity? How is humanity going to evolve and change? And they don't do that in this film. This film instead revolves around Clone Girl, and that people have kidnapped her because they want to get her DNA to stop these locusts or something. And it's like, What? There's this whole subplot revolving around these evolved locusts and how they're basically eating all of humanity's crops. And basically, if they don't stop the locusts, they're going to eat all the food and there won't be any food and humanity will starve. That was somewhat interesting, but they don't explore it. They just need to capture these locusts so they can do some weird clone replication stuff. And it's like, what are you doing? That is an interesting story thread, and you didn't follow up on it properly. Because I'm not gonna lie, the story for Jurassic World 3 writes itself. Humanity now has to live with dinosaurs, and how do they do that? I mean, at the beginning of the film, there's this fishing sequence where these fishermen are capturing all this fish, and then I think it's like the mosasaur or something. I used to know all the dinosaur names when I was younger, but I don't remember. But basically, it's like, it's the fish dinosaur. It comes out and it like eats the whole cage. And there in itself, you're just like, oh, that's interesting. How have humans prepped to deal with this? They haven't yet. And the film itself has potential to be very interesting. In many ways, this could have been like Dawn of the Planet of the Apes or War for the Planet of the Apes, where the dinosaurs existing have unlocked these old pathogens that humanity, us as a society nowadays, have not been exposed to. And so there's a plague wiping out humans. There is, territorial issues between dinosaurs and humans. This could have been really interesting, but they don't do it. The film treats dinosaurs like they are a dime a dozen and people do not care. Like, that is insane to me. If a new species that we thought was wiped out now exists in present day, it would be an absolute phenomenon. You would be like, what the hell is going on? I can't believe it. Pinch me. I'm dreaming. This is crazy. But no, the film is just like, oh, we don't care about dinosaurs. We're just gonna have Clone Girl and flipping Richard Parker from The Amazing Spider-Man, Campbell Scott. He's like the bad guy, and like, he was weird too. Like, Campbell Scott is like a good actor, and I really liked him in those Amazing Spider-Man films, but the character he's playing in this film is bizarre. He's like Elon Musk meets like Steve Jobs, and it's like, what is this guy doing? It's so awkward. There's this scene where he's with Ellie Sattler and Alan Grant, and he's like talking to them, and he does this weird thing where he's like, hey, where's my candy? But he just like, all of a sudden sort of just, it seems like he breaks character, but he doesn't, like, or like he's ad-libbing. He just sort of just starts going like, hey, where's my candy bar or something like that. And it's like, what's going on here? What? And now that I've mentioned them, the return of the original cast, Jeff Goldblum as Ian Malcolm, Sam Neill as Dr. Alan Grant, and Laura Dern as Ellie Sattler, like, they're in this film, and it's just, I don't know the words to describe it, but you can tell they're sort of just phoning it in. To me, it seems the only reason why they are in this film is so that they can undo the mistake of Jurassic Park 3, where Ellie has kids with another man, and so this film can basically go, oh yeah, Ellie is now divorced now, and her kids are, all grown up, so she's free to be with Alan, and they get together in the end. They are now a couple, and we're finally fulfilling the promise Steven Spielberg set up in the first Jurassic Park film, where they're gonna be together, and it just felt so forced. Like, sure, yeah, I'm happy they are together, but also, it was just so, like, why are they in this film? They don't even really link up with Owen and Claire until the third act of the film. And it's kind of like, you'd think they would bring in the man that could, handle the raptors from Jurassic World, as well as Claire, who is somehow relevant, even though she was, like, she was a corporate person in the first film. She was like, oh, give me the assets. And then in Fallen Kingdom, she became sort of like a dinosaur activist sort of thing. But yeah, it was weird. And then in this film, it's like, oh yeah, they're basically trying to take down this corporate company, and it's like, what are we doing here? And the third act is just them running away from dinosaurs, and it's the same old stuff. There's nothing new here. It's again a T-Rex fighting another big dinosaur. But the thing is that the T-Rex itself has lost the value of its epicness, because obviously in the first Jurassic Park, when the T-Rex comes in and kills the raptors, you're like, hell yeah, let's go! And then in Jurassic Park 2, same thing, hell yeah, the T-Rex shows up. And then in Jurassic Park 3, when the T-Rex dies, you're just like, oh my god, the T-Rex showed up, but also, oh my god, it died, what the hell, this dinosaur's crazy! And then in Jurassic World, the T-Rex fights the Indominus Rex, and then it needs help from the fish dinosaur, and you're like, oh, whoa, that's pretty cool. And then the second film, I don't think the T-Rex is in it, but yeah, it's another dinosaur fight. And then in this film, the T-Rex has to fight this other big dinosaur, and it loses earlier in the film. And it doesn't beat the final T-Rex solo, it beats it with the help of another dinosaur, and it's that point where I'm not impressed by seeing the T-Rex fight another dinosaur anymore, because it's not cool anymore. It's played out, it's pointless, and it doesn't work. It's Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, it's a dead franchise. There was no point of merging these, two sets of characters together, the original and the new cast, because There was nothing new here apart from Owen being like, oh yeah, Alan Grant, I read your book, I liked it. And Alan Grant's just like, oh, you're Owen, you're the guy that did all the raptor stuff, that's cool. It didn't feel organic, it felt corny, it felt forced, and just... The first Jurassic Park is a film that has interesting ideas about humans playing God and nature and life finding a way. And this film doesn't do anything. It doesn't say anything about that. It's just dumb pseudoscience and corporations are bad and, oh, we got dinosaurs running. There's nothing here. The whole, like, subplot between Clone Girl and Owen and Claire, like, being a family, whatever, I didn't care. I don't get how you squander the potential of, oh, yeah, we're having dinosaurs interact with humanity now. They're no longer contained on an island or in a park. They are fully just out and about in cities, and they don't focus on that. That's the thing. This film, when I was sitting there, it pained me to watch it, and it was almost like my experience when I was watching Fast and the Furious 10 last year, because, like, Fast 10 was another film where I kind of just lost faith in studio blockbuster filmmaking. I was like, what is this crap? Do people really enjoy this? Like, huh? And look, you're free to enjoy it. I'm not saying that, but what I mean by that is, like, films used to tell us good messages. They used to give us good characters, good themes, good ideas. And whilst there are still films that do that nowadays, they aren't the films that sell at the box office. People just want mindless, numb fun. But this wasn't mind-numbing fun, it was just dumb. I'm gonna jump back to Top Gun Maverick because Top Gun Maverick is just... that film. Top Gun Maverick has a very fun set of characters. You have Maverick, you have Rooster, you have the young team like Hangman and Payback and Bob, you have Phoenix, you have just such a fun group of characters interacting. You have a sense of thrill and wonder because they are really flying those jets. And it's just so fun and endearing. It's a really nice, heartwarming story about, you know, a man trying to be a father figure to a son figure who doesn't appreciate him because of a lie he had to tell. It's really compelling, and it's just good fun. It's just... the summer vibes in Top Gun Maverick are amazing. The beach scene with One Republic's I Ain't Worried About It song just... oh my god, it's just a feel-good film, and Jurassic World didn't make me feel good. It made me want to die. I hated it so much. Also, what kind of hurt me was that you could tell that the OG cast were kind of half-arsing it. Like, when Laura Dern shows up, she's putting on this voice and she's delivering her lines and she's saying... she's kind of monotonish, and you can kind of tell she's just doing this for a paycheck. And it's like, that sucks, because Laura Dern is great in everything she's in. I mean, one of my favorite, you know, roles she's been in recently was in Little Women as the mother, as Mommy. She's so good in that. And then just seeing her in this, it's just like, oh, yeah, you're just doing it for the paycheck. I mean, good on you, but also... that sucks that you kind of feel like you have to do that for this film. And that's the thing, I'm not really going to blame the cast because the script is bad, and because the script is bad, there's no material really to mine from here because there's nothing going on here. To wrap things up, I hated Jurassic World Dominion, and I really hope that they just leave the Jurassic Park World franchise alone. No more, it's over, it's done. Please don't make any more. Don't mix this with the Fast and... actually, maybe do that. That could be kind of fun. But you have to, like, make it, like, stupidly ridiculous and fun. Like, give me some kind of, like, B-movie, cheesy, corny vibes. That could be really fun. I don't know. But just, like, leave Jurassic Park alone. Don't do any more. Because the only film that matters is Steven Spielberg's Jurassic Park 1. It's the only one that matters. The only one that counts. It's the only thing that actually has something interesting to say. Leave this franchise alone. But am I just being a massive pessimist? Did you like the film? I mean, let me know in the comments down below. Like, subscribe, follow me on social media, all that good stuff. And until we meet again, I'll see you guys next time.